Hello, welcome to this episode of Billyfishing in Arctic Norway. Today we're going to do some bait rods. When you're fishing bait rods, what you need is some bait, right? So I've said in other videos, just find a place where all the fish hang out, little fish, and this is quite often the place, the local ferry port. And in Norway, you're never very far away from one. Literally, they're part of your life. Ferries are there on a daily basis for a lot of people. Anyway, so down here, I have some water right now. There's a big collie over there, but he's not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is all the little guys, about ½ a pound or so. And as soon as I put this jig down here, they're all going to appear, and I'm going to catch them with the quickness. At least that's the plan anyway. Then I'm going to head this direction here to a fantastic mark and see if I can pick up halibut. If I can return the halibut, I will. We get this in the water. Yeah, this is a fishing rod. There's some feathers, and that's a jig. There they are already. So I'm just going to do this, and pretty soon I should have a fishy, because they are particularly dumb. Yeah, they're all over it. Millions of them. Go on, take it. Go on. I say that now, I'm not going to catch a damn thing, am I? No. Yeah, we're on. We got a little guy. Does he count? What is it? Never even seen one before. It's a little pollock. Yeah, okay. Sorry, buddy. You won't do. So we get you back if we can. There we go. Boom. He's alright actually. Amazed. Right, so onwards. We'll put it in over here. It's a little bit deeper. Yeah. Yeah, we're on. There we go. First customer. Perfect for the bait. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to kill him now. I'm not going to let them suffer, I mean. There he goes. Down we go. And I just need like a few. Whatever I don't use I can freeze. When the brethren disappear, they don't seem to ask any questions. Just come back for more. Here, see if we can get a better guy. There you go. That's a good one. There's a better fish. He'll do nicely. That's a better fish. Nice bait. Hard fighting collie, even at this side they pull. There you go. Live baiting in Norway is forbidden, as anybody was going to ask. There we go. Thank you. Well, you know, like if bait collection was this easy everywhere, right? I'm going to take it up, and I'm going to cast it up the pier this way. They seem to be on to me. I'm going to catch something decent, haven't I? Of course I am. I got the rod to deal with it. Oh, there's a big guy. That's about, yeah, 5-6 pounds or something. There we go. Yeah. Man, they pull. I got a few of them, have I? Is it just one guy? Hooked backwards or something. Yeah, he's hooked backwards, that's why he's pulling. But anyway, yeah, it worked. Got me another bait. Anyway, so you could entertain yourself like this when you were a kid, right? I would have anyway. They're all over, they're all just going down there after it. These big eaters, man. Nobody's got anything to eat yet. There you go. There we go. We got one. Ah, he's a nice fish. Get up here. Don't. No, he's gonna mess me up. Man, they're full strong, man. That's because I'm hooking them wrong. It's a much more effective technique, this one. Catches them unawares, it does. Look at them all chasing it, look. I got two now, do I? Ah, just one. But anyway, this is definitely the way to do it. There's a reason why there's no size limit for coal fishing in Norway, right? I was going to fill me bucket. It's not a very big bucket. Yeah, I wouldn't be into that either. Right, we'll have to wait for this to settle, right? Bye bye, ferry people. One day I will join you again. Now, the thing that's getting me now is what happened to the fish? Are they all over there or what? Are they still down there? It's interesting to find out now, right? Be an hour before that boat's back, so getting a bit cold as well. It is actually plus degrees today, and funnily enough, it makes driving here in Norway really bloody dangerous, because it's been frozen for the last couple of weeks now, and everyone's starting to thaw, but the ground is still frozen and everything is super slippy. It looks wet, but there's actually ice underneath everything, so it looks like water, but in actual fact it's ice with water on top of it. Worst possible situation ever. One more cast, one more fish, and then we'll be out of here. I'm actually having quite a lot of fun, just like when I was a boy. Jesus, you would have had a great time. There wouldn't have been a fish left in the sea in Ireland. Every kid would be down here doing this. There we go. Oh, yep. This is a proper fish. This is a proper fish. Ah, it's a proper one. That's one for the freezer anyway. That's a proper one. That's not bad. Ah, he's a little bit big. We put him back actually. Thanks for playing, buddy. He's a little bit big for bait. Right, there you go. Woo. We'll try back out here again. There we go. Yeah, this is the one I want, or the two I want, or the three I want. Of course, I'm going to hook up 3 times on the last one. 2 will do. 2 will do nicely. Now we're out of here. Yep. A little bucket of collie, some for the freezer, some for the session today. So, if you want to see how to make these feathers, I'll link that video in the description as well. Alright, yeah, nice. So we're going to be into the cache and on the way. Winter Norway, inside the Arctic Circle. Right now that road there is just ice. That's what it is. And the way you deal with that here is you have tungsten studs on your tyres, and you don't do anything sudden. That's the trick. No sudden movements. So here we are at the mark. So first of all, I'll just give you a look at the mark, right? There we go, beautiful mountains. You've seen this before. Same mark as the big cod video. Yes. So first of all, I'm going to show you the rig. It is the South African big game rig. It is made up of units, let's just say, a lead line and a rig body. The rig body is also the snood in this case. It's called the big game rig because this hook line, snood line, is just one piece, right? From swivel to hook. Okay, the weakest link is at the swivel. This is 200-pound line, so now with that knot in there, roughly 50% of the breaking strength of the line. So now it's 100-pound, right? The hook is snelled on, so this is what maintains the integrity of the line, right? Because this is tied around the hook and it can't cut itself. It can't tighten down itself to cut itself. That's why knots fail, because they tighten down and they cut themselves. You can improve it by putting a drop of glue on it if you must, but in this case it's completely unnecessary. I have landed 100-pound fish on 15-pound mainline, mono, and so long as the circumstances aren't too brutal and the ground ain't too rough, you'd be surprised how light you can go to catch a really big fish. So I've got 40-pound mainline, right? You can handle a fish all the way up to 200 pounds with that. But I digress. This is the lead line. It is trapped on the main line with 2 stop knots which are glued into place to make sure they haven't compromised the integrity of the main line. And down the end we have a lead weight, right? 6-ounce lead weight on this one. This is an old style. I make these myself, but I've copied another one that is completely unsafe. They used to have a disc on it. It's a rotten bottom, had a disc that held it in place, but I've got no need for that anymore. And they work very well with the South African rig, because what happens is the lead weight and the dingle dangle work like this. This is the lead line, so there's no pressure on this. So you don't need the disc there to hold this, right? And it works really well like this. When I get picked up by a big fish and I tighten down on the line, because of the braid and the big fish and the lack of stretch, gives it one shake of its head and off pops the lead weight. And now you've just got a fish swimming freely with a hook in its mouth. If you have a lead weight in front of a fish, even just a 6 ounce lead weight, a reasonable size fish, 30, 40 pounds, this will lead the fish. And if it's going down, if it's pulling the fish down, the fish will swim down with it and into the snags, right? But without it, the fish feels freer and will try to run. Okay, it won't be lead. It's a weird thing, but lead weights lead fish. It's best to drop this when you pick up a decent fish. And this is what this clip here does with great ease. I will show you how to make it. If you want, it'll be a 5-minute video. If you want to know how to make it, just leave it in the comments. It's really simple. Okay, so that's all the gibberish done. Another thing about the South African rig is the way it works is, right, you can see that lead line does not touch the bait, so it doesn't push itself off when you were casting a huge bait. When I say huge bait, half a coalfish for this, but I'm going to show you how to do that. It's very simple, and I'm sure it will help you catch some big fish. Now, big baits don't necessarily catch fish just because they're big. They keep the small fish off, is usually what they do. And it's just an hour's game. How long can you keep a bait in the water is basically it. How many fish can you keep off it in that time? That's basically how big baits work. Until a guy turns up or doesn't turn up. You might catch nothing because of the size of the bait. But remember, when you were there to catch a big fish, right? The rest of the guys, they don't matter. If you're going to fish for just anything, a mid-sized bait is probably your best bet. But that's not something I'd be interested in. Not right now anyway. So I'm just going with a big bait. And surprisingly, I've been getting picked up really quickly lately by halibut. So yeah, and this is a brutal tide as well. I mean, it's savagely crap. It's the second neap in the cycle, and yeah, not a lot of water moving. And as halibut go, they like a bit of water to move, so it's kind of weird, but I don't care. Fishing's fishing. If I'm catching halibut on neap tides, I'm a happy guy. So that's it. We'll bait one up and I'll show you how it goes. Right, I'm going to use a head and a couple of fillets. This is the dingle dangle. Right, so I'm going to start with this head of a collie, right? There's not a lot of meat in it, but there is a lot of scent. Along the sides, I'm going to put these pieces here, okay? And that's the flank section of collie, right? Down towards the tail. So I'm just going to cut down the mouth of the fish, right? So I can get the dingle dangle inside the fish. With frozen ones, you can do it differently. I will link the bill for that dingle dangle. So you take the dingle dangle and you insert it inside the fish. Okay, and it goes down its throat, obviously. I just have to cut it so I can get my finger in there, just to clear the passage. Then you take the dingle dangle and you push it down, and it will follow the same passage as your finger, and it come out the other end, right? Just like this. Yeah. Right? So now you secure it with your bait elastic. This is latex bait elastic. I don't like to use the other one. So I'm just going to run up the bait. It's very important that you keep the mouth shut, so you put a couple of cuts in there with your knife, and you make sure that the bait elastic goes into it to keep the mouth shut. Otherwise, it will swallow the hook. Then you take your fish fillets and you place them along the side. Obviously, you can see the fish there. It's kind of oblong, so you put it on the flat side to make it more round and more aerodynamic. Okay? Yes. You just do one side and then you do the next, because it's easier to wrap it in one piece, right? So there we go. That's it there, almost done, right? So then it's impossible to see this, but because of all the guts and stuff, but you see that bead down the bottom there? That orange bead? Right. I go on to one side of it, right? The opposite side to this loop here. I'll show you now, right? I go onto this side, right? I go up here like that. And you don't do this too tight, right? And you come down and you go onto the other side, and you go onto this side of it here. And you just go crisscross like that a few times, just to make sure the bait stays where it's supposed to. Okay, that's it. Don't do it too tight now, or your bait will twang together and you will be miserable. Right, so then you have it like this. You take it and you lock it off up at the top, just behind the bead, right? Now it's important when you make these that you include the beads, otherwise your bait will come shooting off and you'll be miserable, right? So you go up to the top And you can tie a knot in this. You can do a couple of half hitches or whatever you like, right? That's up to you. Sometimes I use a knot, sometimes I don't. Depends on the size of the bait, but this is quite a decent bait. So anyway, so that's it. A couple of turns just to make sure that elastic doesn't find the bait clip or something. So there you go. Nice little bait. And you can see the little clip down the bottom there that goes into lead weight, right? That's it. Very aerodynamic, casts a long way. A lot of juice, a lot of scent. It will do the job. It'll catch you fish if they're there. So remember, you can't catch fish that aren't there, right? Sometimes the fish are there and you still can't catch them. Norway's a prime example of that. Millions of the damn things, and you just sit there. Some days you won't catch a damn thing, right? And I guarantee if you put a camera in the water, they're all laughing at you. That's what they're doing. They're all like, stupid foreigner. Yeah, I'll have the last laugh. That's it. Okay, so that's the bait demo done. That's the rig demo done. And the rods are the Eliminator E1000. Boom. The reels are Penn Meg 525. It's loaded with 40-pound 4-strand mainline, and it's got 100-pound 4-strand leader. That's both reels, both rods. Okay. Yeah. It flew about 80 meters. So that's where I've been picking up the fish lately, and that's where it's going to go now, 80 meters out. It seems like the further I throw it, the less fish I get. So that's Norway for you, and it's a constant. Sometimes you cast too far, a lot of the time you cast too far, which is a weird thing if you think about it. But the water is deeper here in Norway, and their prey is in around the margins the majority of the time. Right, like within meters and within tens of meters. Don't cast too far. Piece of advice. I've been fishing in Norway since 2007. I've had a lot of experience here, and the first one I noticed was I was casting too far. The best fish I've had have been literally 20-30 meters off the shore. But then, having said that, sometimes they've been very far indeed. So it all depends on the circumstances, but in a general sense, but not always. So we get this guy settled in. See what happens. Right, so there's the next bait. Oh! Oh, Jesus. I think we got a fish. Okay. I'm glad I didn't get that other bait in the water. Woo! Okay. Oh, bloody hell. Alright, we got a good fish. Yep, we're into a decent fish, and I'm going to say it's a halibut because that's what it is. I'm going to turn that off. That was some run. That's really weird. What? Oh, there you go. Oh. Hope he takes off again. There he goes. Whoa. He's gone over to the good side, which will make it easier to land him anyway. Ah. Oh. Here he comes. Yes, a nice fish. I'll give him 20, something like that. So nice one. Yeah. I don't know why I've been trying to get them on a lure rod, but I just can't seem to get them out. He's about 15 or something. Yeah, nice fish. Man, he pulled. Please don't kick off now. He had a decent run, so he should be okay. Don't beat yourself to death, please. Whatever you do, don't do that, because I want to return you. No, don't do it. Don't do it. See, this is the problem with them. Calm down. It's So we take him up, we'll give him a measure, and hopefully we get him back in the sea. So I was going to give him a quick measure to see how big he is. It's just over 80, right? So I'm going to get that hook out of his mouth. He's calm down, and we get him back in the sea. So that's my guy there. I gave him about 15-16 pounds or something. I haven't touched his gills. I was very careful not to touch his gills. So we let him sit here for a while. Okay, there he goes. Goodbye, buddy. You'll be grand. There he goes. He's coughing up the food he thought he ate that was bad for him. So I just let him sit there and recover. Here he goes. Nice. Goodbye, Mr. Halibut. Fantastic. Fantastic. There he goes into the depths. Nice. Nice halibut. The problem is with them, despite their angry nature and their power and everything else, they are actually quite sensitive fish and they die quite easily. That fish was out of the water 35-40 seconds maximum. I like to work as quick as possible to make sure that they have the best chance. And I'm glad he took off a couple of times. That took most of the sting out of him. So the reason why that fish could run was because the lead weight is gone, right? And it is what I said it was. When I picked it up, the lead popped off and then it was just fish on string, right? Makes the fight so much more pleasurable. I don't know why I can't pick them up in a lure rod. Every time I put a bait in, I get a bloody halibut. My time will come, I'm sure. That was quick. 15 minutes? Amazing. And it's a brutal tide, apparently. Now, before I was so rudely interrupted by that beautiful, fantastic, wonderful fish, I was about to put this bait out. Let's go. Nice. Can't beat it. He had a lot of spirit, that fish, taking drag off this multiplier like that. Fantastic. So anyway, we get this one settled in, we get the other one rebaited. See what happens. Yeah. So that's it. Fantastic. First cast bloody fish. A halibut. How do you like that? See if we get a huge fish on it. So, yeah, I got a fish on into the darkness, but I'm pretty much sure that I'm not going to get another fish. So, a bucket of coley and one halibut. Is that a bad day's fishing? I don't think so. So I'm Billy, this is Billy in Arctic Norway. I hope you liked it. Wherever you are in the world, remember, I'll see you in the beach. Bye.